You think you know the story of the One Ring, but the true epic began thousands of years earlier, in a forgotten age of gods, jewels, and a darkness that never truly died. I am Galadriel, and I have seen 2 ages of this world pass away. My story, and the fate of every character in The Lord of the Rings, was forged in the fires of the First Age, chronicled in the Silmarillion. Today we trace the invisible threads connecting that ancient history to the War of the Ring. It all begins with the Silmarils, 3 perfect jewels crafted by the elf Fëanor, containing the light of the 2 trees of Valinor. Their theft by the first Dark Lord Morgoth sparked a catastrophic war. This war saw the rise and fall of kingdoms like Gondolin and Nargothrond, and created wounds that would never heal. I was there. I was one of the Noldor elves who rebelled and followed Fëanor back to Middle-earth, cursed for our oath of vengeance. My entire journey in Lothlorien is one of long repentance. My heritage is a living relic of that age. My father, Eärendil, was the half-elven mariner who carried a Silmaril across the sky, becoming the star of Eärendil that Sam and Frodo would later look to for hope. And my ancestor, Elros, Eärendil's son and Elrond's brother, chose mortality and became the first king of Númenor. The blood of the First Age kings flows in my veins, a direct line from Beren and Luthien, whose epic love story broke the power of Morgoth itself. Here is the most crucial connection. Sauron was not the first Dark Lord. He was Morgoth's most trusted lieutenant, his chief lieutenant, and a mighty spirit of fire and shadow. When Morgoth was cast out, Sauron lingered. His entire drive to dominate Middle-earth is an attempt to finish his master's work. The Rings of Power? A refined, subtler version of Morgoth's brute force. Sauron learned from the First Age that you can't just break the world, you must enslave it. And what of the wizards? We are the Maiar, spirits of the same order as Sauron, sent not as warriors, but as guides. My fall is a tragic echo of the First Age, a repetition of a mighty spirit being corrupted by a desire to order the world to his own design, just as Morgoth did. And the Balrog in Moria? A fellow Maiar, a fire spirit corrupted in the First Age, a surviving demon from Morgoth's ancient armies. My fight with it was a battle from a bygone era erupting into the Third Age. The artifacts you know are heirlooms of that time. The phial of Galadriel that Samwise uses against Shelob? It contains the light of Eärendil's star, the light of a Silmaril. My sword, Narsil, which becomes Aragorn's Anduril, was forged in the First Age by the dwarf smith Telkar of Nogrod. The love of my people for the Lady Galadriel. It stems from her friendship with the dwarf king Finrod Felagund in the First Age, a bond that transcended a terrible rift. Even the mithril of Moria was first discovered and mined in those ancient days. So when I bore the ring, I was walking a path laid down by ancient heroes. Beren cut a Silmaril from Morgoth's iron crown with a simple dagger. His love, Luthien, faced Morgoth in song and magic. Their impossible quest is the blueprint for mine. And my loyalty, Mr. Frodo? That's the same hope that kept the elves fighting through centuries of darkness. The Lord of the Rings is not a standalone story. It is the final chapter of a much longer tale. The courage of men, the sorrow of elves, the endurance of dwarves, and the persistence of evil all were defined in the First Age. When I took the throne, I wasn't just restoring Gondor. I was fulfilling a destiny set in motion when my forefather Elros first ruled. And when my daughter Arwen chose a mortal life, she reenacted the choice of Luthien, closing a circle thousands of years in the making. The landscapes of the Third Age are the ruins of the First. The misty mountains were raised by Morgoth to hinder the Valar. The great forests are remnants of a time before the sun. The Ents? They were shepherds of the trees created in response to the dwarves, who were themselves a creation of the Valar Aule. Every rock, every river, every character has a memory that stretches back to the days before days. To understand the depth of the Lord of the Rings, you must listen for the echoes of the Silmarillion. They are the foundation upon which everything is built.